Hi there, and welcome back to your English journey. Today, we're exploring something powerful, something that can dramatically shift the way you speak and understand English. Phrasal verbs. Yes, those little combinations of a verb and a preposition that carry big meaning. They may seem tricky at first, but here's the truth. Mastering phrasal verbs is one of the most important steps to speaking fluently. Let's break down why. Phrasal verbs are how native English speakers naturally express themselves, especially in everyday speech. They tend to choose a simple verb plus particle combo rather than a formal or academic word. It's faster, more flexible, and conversational. Let's take a look at some real examples. She called off the meeting. That means she canceled it. He picked up some milk on the way home. He bought it casually during his commute. Can you fill out this form? That's simply complete this form. We're running out of time. We're almost out of time, or time is coming to an end. Here's the thing. If you always say cancel the meeting or complete the form, you're still understandable, but you'll sound formal and a bit unnatural in casual conversation. Native speakers would almost always go with call off or fill out. It's shorter, more dynamic, and more in tune with natural English rhythm. Even things like, hang on a second, instead of wait. Let's catch up soon, instead of let's meet again and share news. See how much more casual and real it sounds? When learners avoid phrasal verbs, their English often feels too textbook-like. You might hear, he departed immediately after the meeting, versus, he took off right after the meeting, or, I will examine the issue tomorrow, versus, I'll look into it tomorrow. The difference. The first sentence sounds stiff and overly formal. It could be in a business report or academic paper. The second one sounds like how you'd actually speak to a colleague, a friend, or a classmate. Let's try a few more. Instead of resolve the problem, say sort out the problem. Instead of encounter a difficulty, say run into a problem. Instead of invent a story, say make something up. These aren't just stylistic preferences. They're part of real-world spoken English. And once you start using them, your speech sounds smoother, more relaxed, and much more confident. Plus, people will respond to you more naturally. They'll feel like they're talking to someone fluent and easy to understand. Let's be honest. Understanding native-level English, whether in movies, podcasts, or novels, can feel overwhelming. And one of the biggest obstacles? Phrasal verbs. They pop up everywhere, and often they're used instead of the more formal verbs you've studied in textbooks. For example, a news article might say, talks broke down between the two leaders, instead of, the negotiation failed. A friend might say, I ran into Sarah yesterday, instead of, I unexpectedly met Sarah. When you know these phrasal verbs, it's like flipping a switch. What once felt like a blur of confusing phrases suddenly makes sense. Even better, once you start recognizing them in context, your listening and reading skills get a serious upgrade. You don't just understand the words. You understand the meaning, the tone, and even the emotion behind them. Think of it like this. Phrasal verbs act as keys, and once you've got them, they unlock more of what English has to offer. Phrasal verbs are also great for efficiency. They help you say complex things with just a few simple words. For example, instead of saying, I'm trying to maintain the same pace as my classmates, say, I'm trying to keep up with my classmates. Instead of, the police tried to prevent the fight from starting, say, the police tried to head off the fight. Or, he was rejected from the team. He got kicked off the team. This kind of speech is not just quicker, it's more relatable, and it mirrors the rhythm of how English speakers think and talk. It's like packing more into less. And the best part? It helps you sound confident, fluent, and efficient, the way someone who really owns the language would speak. A common myth is that phrasal verbs are only for casual speech, but actually, they're used everywhere. Yes, you'll hear them with friends. Let's chill out this weekend. I'm heading out now. See you? But you'll also hear them in work emails, meetings, and business presentations. Let's follow up on that next week. We'll carry out the plan as discussed. Our team will look into the issue and report back. Mastering phrasal verbs doesn't mean speaking like a teenager. Whether you're giving a presentation, sending a text, or making small talk with a colleague, you'll have the vocabulary to match the moment. This is the deeper reason why phrasal verbs matter. Once you're comfortable with them, you stop translating in your head. You stop reaching for complicated structures or hesitating mid-sentence. Instead, you just speak. You might catch yourself saying, "Let's wrap it up here. He's really grown up lately. I can't figure this out. Can you help?" These are real everyday English thoughts. And when they come out of your mouth easily, without translating or overthinking, that's fluency. Phrasal verbs also give you emotional range. You can be casual, friendly, serious, funny, persuasive, all depending on how you use them. Confidence builds not only from knowing the rules, but from feeling the rhythm of real English. And phrasal verbs are a huge part of that. So, what's the takeaway? If you want to increase your fluency, not just grammar accuracy, but true, flowing, confident English, then phrasal verbs are essential. Not optional, not extra, essential. So keep learning them, keep using them, and little by little, they'll become second nature. You've got this. Let's keep going. Thanks for joining me today. See you next time.